Alright, so for the first one, it was just asking us for precision and uncertainty. So the precision for this measuring tape is 1 millimeter, or 0.1 centimeter. Either one I will honor. Uncertainty therefore would be 0.5 millimeters, or half of the previous answer here. So you get 1 mark for having both of them correct. Here is a little trickier. This is in inches. So take, between 3 and 4, how many markings are there, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and another 8 to get to here. So the precision is 1/16 of an inch. If you wrote this as a decimal, you can also do this, right? You just divide and get, no, that doesn't look right. There's a 0 missing, sorry. It's 0.0625 of an inch. The uncertainty therefore would be half of this, so it's 1/32 of an inch. Or if you just took this and divided it by 2, you get 0.03125 of an inch, right? So if you take this and divide it by 2, you get that. So 1 mark if you have this done correctly. And here's another imperial. It did not say that it was in inches, but it was assumed, right? So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these markings represent 1/8 of an inch, which would make it 1/16 of an inch for the uncertainty, right? It would be half. And of course, if you wrote it as 0.125, then you get 0.0625 as your uncertainty, right? So we'll give you 1 mark if you have them both done correctly. Which one of, I know it's, for some of you it might be obvious, which one of these two would be considered more precise? This, well, I mean, between this ruler or this ruler. It would be B, like the smaller the increments, the better, the more precise you are. You can look at the decimals. Yeah, they have the same unit. This one has smaller increments. Don't tell me this one has more markings than this one. Just say that the actual increment, the actual amount that's going up by is smaller here, more precise, okay? Beaker, you check the markings and you can tell this is going up by 50 milliliters. So that's how precise this is. It's considered precise to the nearest 50 milliliters. So it's 25 ml for your uncertainty there. That should be pretty straightforward at this point. 1 mark for each again, right? And then we go back up to the thermometer. And you realize, right, checking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you actually can tell that this is going up by 10 degrees Fahrenheit, meaning that your uncertainty is 5 degrees Fahrenheit. 1 mark. And if you missed a lot of units, more than 2, take off 1 full mark for sure on this page before you put down 5, right? Because this page is out of 5. So make sure you take off a full mark if you forgot your units. Good. Backside, probably the more challenging one. Okay, define tolerance using your own words. You can give a specific example as part of it, part of your explanation, that is. This is what you could write down. Range of acceptable values. Okay. You can say the variation allowed for item to still be acceptable, for item to still be acceptable. What you could say, right? You could talk about, I don't know if you ever inflate your tires, right? Like this time of the year, they kind of tend to the pressure drops a little bit because it's so cold. But you can't overinflate your tires. That actually causes a hazard. Underinflating also causes a hazard, right? Like it's not good for it. So there's a certain amount that you can be off by, but not much. Overinflating, you can burst, like the tire can literally burst, right? Underinflating, you lose control, right? It's all like, you can actually tell. I don't know if you ever driven a car and you can tell the front tire is low. It's harder to steer, right? So it's not safe. So a lot of examples you can talk about here. In each case, state the nominal, minimum, and maximum. Sorry. So nominal here is 0.7550 inches. You just grab that front number. Then the max I get by adding these, so that's 0.765. That's you. You either put 0 or you can just leave it if you want, but I'm just keeping it at 4 decimals, right? But that's 765 is what I'm looking for there, right? And then the min is just the same as, because you're not really subtracting anything, you're subtracting 0. So this is how this goes. If you get every single one right, you get 1 mark. If you make 1 mistake, you lose half. If you make more than 1 mistake, it's 0, okay? Per line. So 1 mistake still gets you half a mark. Next one, nominal, 0.7550. The max, you just add, right? So that'd be 0. Where am I here? 8050, right? And then min would be subtracting that. That's 0.7050. And of course, you don't have to have that last 0 there. If your calculator dropped it, that's fine. Nominal here is 2.83 inches. Max is just adding the 0.25. So that's 3.08 inches. Min is subtracting it, so 2.58 inches, right? You just subtract that from it. D, nominal, is just that big number that is in front of it. Max we will add, so that's 0.1086 of a meter. Min, you just subtract these, that's 0.0177 of a meter. Okay, and the next one, nominal is the big number. Everything is pretty much inches and meters. That will change, I promise. You add this, you get 0.048 of an inch. You subtract this from the original, from the nominal, you get 0.041 of an inch. 1 mark for each line, okay? There are the 5 questions again, in case you want to check quickly. 1 mistake per line max. If you have more than that, it's 0, okay? And the last one. This one is probably the most challenging, right? Statistically speaking, this one is the one that we struggle with the most. So I tried my best to give you a way out of it. So somewhere in this section, I would do this: min, max, nominal. No, sorry, tolerance, right? That's what order doesn't really matter. But I would take the min here is 67.00. The max is 68.00. I just keep the 0.00s because this has 2 decimals, okay? Tolerance, you just subtract this minus that. That is 1.00 of a millimeter. and nominal is just that big number up front. So now I have everything I need to state it in the form that Mr. Dirksen is asking me, right? So max is 68.00, min is 67.00. You got 1 mark right there. I'm not going to give you marks for this, but it sure helps. If you get this wrong, it sure helps me to give you partial marks, if not almost all of the marks. Next is max, so that's 68.00 millimeters, plus 0 minus the tolerance, which is 1 millimeter. And then the min is 67 units wherever you go, right? Plus 1 millimeter. And that's it. 3 marks if you have that done correctly. Millimeters? Everywhere? Like on these little numbers here? This whole page, maximum of 1 mark deduction. Like if you only lost it once, like this just half. If you missed it more than once, right? However many times you miss it, it just take off 1 mark per page. Yeah, I don't take more than 1. It's too brutal, right? Because you understand what's happening. It's just you forgot. The front? Okay. Yeah. So this, I just want to count here. We've got 10 on this page. Which one, Noah? B? B is, I can zoom in a bit. D? The beaker? Okay, no problem. Right, out of 15, add it up, pass it forward. Yeah. The next one, it's technically, I was going to do it as an AC, but we only have 10 minutes left. I will make this a take-home assignment, okay? Go ahead. I will pick up the other ones in a bit. Wait a little bit, there's 3 out of 5. Right. Let's see here. I just wanted to remind, if I state the tolerance like this, what would you say the nominal would be in this case? What are we assuming? Tolerance is 1? Tolerance is 1, yeah. But the nominal is in the middle, is in between. You have to go this plus that divided by 2. So it's, in this case, you can do mental math, 65.5, right? So if that ever happens, just assume it's the one in the middle. You don't have it? Kaden, did you take too many or what? Maybe Kaden took too many. I can get it to you. Christian, did you get a paper? Did Neil get one? That's okay. I make mistakes. Who asked you to go to the bathroom? Me. Are you going to be back for the bell? Yeah, I think so. Okay, go. That way you don't get caught in traffic. All right, Yuri. Okay. Um, you can tell that I really look forward to being done with this unit, and I think you do too. You got one already, but you need to make sure you come prepared. Okay. I don't do retests. You need to come in prepared. You need to have looked over again. If I look at all the resources you have, if you're not asking questions, then I'm just assuming you know your stuff, right? Asking them after the test is going to be too late. So you got to make sure you stay on top. There are videos, there are worksheets. The worksheets have keys, right? I've gone over a bunch of examples, so I would love you to ace it. If you've done the examples, if you've done the ACs, if you follow along, you should be able to ace the test. That would be my wish for all of you. Boost your mark a little bit. Okay. the 10. Yeah. Oh. Doing this upside down is fun. Yeah.